Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Firstly, I want to say before we carry on that I know I've been uploading a lot, quite a lot recently since the update of the Umbral Escalation. That's because I want to get as much of the things I've learned into the game as quickly as possible so people can start implementing what I've learned and see if they like the builds I'm making and see if they like the changes I'm saying. And if not, then it is what it is. I just thought it makes sense for me to upload when the stuff's occurring, as in, because it's all on Umbral Escalation and it is new, I'd rather just pump out everything all at the same time and just let everyone just know what I think is really, really strong right now. But with that being said, this is going to be a little bit different, but also the same, and there's a bit contradicting with what I'm saying there. But why I say this is that obviously I've been covering a lot of builds recently in regards to Umbral Escalation, and I've got one here for you. But also, this video isn't just to address the build; it's also to address some of the problems wrong with Umbral Escalation. I really don't want to. I don't. Really, this isn't for me to moan at Phoenix Labs or whatever, but I understand there's obviously always going to be bugs when an update comes out. But there's a couple of them here which is damn right annoying, and there's some which have been passed over from the previous patch, and somehow they either haven't been patched or it's even worse. Like Riftstalker, something's wrong with that dude, man. Honestly, that's one of my main issues. I'm not going to explain to you right now, but I'm going to let you just see the gameplay. This gameplay, this solo run of Escalation perfectly shows you the build I want to show off to the best of its ability, and also the problems which is also wrong with the Escalation, or some of the problems which I find really annoying. There's 3 behemoths which I think are really, really broken right now. Not in terms of damage, I mean just broken, like hitboxes, AoE, just all of that stuff. So this isn't me to rant, obviously. I just want Phoenix Labs to understand there is some things wrong, and then if I can address them, and if somehow they see this, then I'm glad. But without carrying on ranting, I just want to give you the build first. Before I carry on with the build as well, disclaimer, this build isn't for the faint-hearted. This has got no Iceborne in it. Again, you guys who follow my channel recently know I don't like using Iceborne. I'm not going to get into the discussion right now. Yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted. If you think you can't hold your own, then maybe don't run it. But it's a really, really strong build if used correctly and if you can hold your own in the Escalation. By no means, I am no way a Pike main in this game, but I can fairly dodge okay. This sort of I can deal with Umbral Escalation solo with this build, put it that way. But regardless, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to start off with the tonics because it makes sense. Since there is no Iceborne in the build, I've given you Life Drain and Bulwark. I had Stamina Tonic in there. I was just testing a few things out to see certain things for my own, for myself. But you can change this third tonic to whatever you like. You can even use the wound one. But I wanted to really use this build without the wound damage to see what I can get. And trust me, you don't even need this Insight Tonic with the amps right now. You can go with, I think my personal preference, I'll probably say go for Life Drain, Bulwark to keep you alive, and either go for a Life Spring Pylon if you're still finding it hard to survive, or Iron Hide actually. But if you are okay and you're used to not using Iceborne, feel free to use Frenzy, Blitz, or even Stagger. So yeah, the tonic's gone over. So the Pike I was using was the Reza Pike, the Spire of Dawn. The cell slots I used was Cunning to give me +6 Cunning, and Discipline again, and Reckless Leap, and Executioner's Spearhead. The reason why I'm using Reckless Leap is that I didn't really want to use Savage Wellsprings because everyone seems to want to use it, and it is probably the best modifier for Pike for DPS, but I really wanted to test the Reckless Leap out on this Umbral Escalation. Plus, it's a little bit different content. Not many people cover builds with Reckless Leap in, and I find it really, really fun to interrupt behemoths with. It just makes the game a bit more fresh for myself. So this build is obviously around wounding behemoths with Reckless Leap, and in general just hitting high crit numbers, which I really like doing on this Escalation. It's really, really fun. But yeah, I went with Executioner's Spearhead. Each time the behemoth is wounded, gain +6 damage, stacks up to 10 times. You can definitely change this to Barb Spearhead if you want to get the wounds quicker. It's definitely your choice. But I went with Executioner's Spearhead. I went to go for a bit more damage. But yeah, the helmet we used was Reza Helmet, which gives you Conduit, and then I put Acidic, so the wounds come a bit more quicker as well, just to make sure the wounds are coming. You can definitely change this to Wild Frenzy if you really want, but this helps with getting the wounds instantly. That's why I went with it, and I don't mind playing Pike without Wild Frenzy. And then we've got the Quill Spike Jacket again with Savagery, and then Savagery slots give us +6 Savagery to give us more damage when there is actually wounded parts. Tordigoro arms with overpower, which because I normally use the Tordigoro Pike, which gives you the overpower built in. I've only got to find one more +3 to get overpower +6, so I thought I'd just put the arms in. This is really, really good when you actually do get an interrupt on behemoths, which is really quite easy on this escalation with like Nene as an instant interrupt, which is really annoying, but as an really quick interrupts. Koshai, really pretty simple interrupt as well to do with Pike. And to be honest, there's so many interrupts which are really simple within Umbral Escalation. It's really worth using. And also wounds can come really quickly. So it's just a really good perk to use on, to be honest, most classes. So that's why that's there. Charog legs, obviously the rage, the double rage, which goes really well with the low life build from Discipline. I went with Embermane's Lantern just because there is real no attack speed, only conduit. If you wanted to, like I said before, change the acidic to Wild Frenzy, you could definitely change this to maybe Dress Lantern. But I like playing like this. I like having the acidic with the extra attack speed from Embermane's Lantern. So that's the build. The perk overview goes like this: +6 conduit, cunning, overpower, rage, savagery, and then +3 acidic and +3 discipline. I was trying to find a way to get +6 discipline in, but it's not a problem. I was trying to switch it out, but it doesn't matter. That's the build I went with. And the build is always going to be linked in the description below, so feel free to check it out. Once again, I'm going to state it again. This has no Iceborne in it. It's not for like people who've just started picking up the game. If you want to test yourself, feel free to use it. It is really strong. And once again, the life drain tonics of bulwarks should get you through the escalation. If you don't feel comfortable doing solo, feel free to try this on a group. It'll probably be a bit more easier if you get a good group running with you. But regardless, I'm not going to put you through to the run. I'm just going to explain to you how well this build works when you're reckless sleeping, and it's in general how it performs. I really didn't want to upload a video on Tordagore's Pike because everyone seems to use that, and it is the meta Pike, and it is the best Pike in the game right now, like hands down. That's why I want to upload it on this, and it's a little twist on what everyone else is uploading at the moment. So without further ado, I'm going to put you through to the run real quick. Alright guys, I'm going to say this right now before we even get through to the round where the most glitch behemoths are. I'm not a Pike main. Again, I'm going to say this just one more time. I am not a Pike main. But the first 2 rounds do go really smooth. So what is. We got Thick Hide really early on in this one, so it's good because that means I ain't got to worry about that later on in the rounds. Really simple. Scrave is obviously not Scrave, sorry. Strike's fairly simple to wound. There's not real much what happens in this round at all. I just actually somehow get a flawless of him. Either way, that's my first reckless sleep. Full stack, by the way, 1,700 and something damage, wound damage. Bearing in mind it is Thick Hide, so that was a crit on it. But if there wasn't a Thick Hide, it obviously would have done more damage. If you are trying to see bigger numbers with the reckless sleep, make sure you are charging up to full. On the top left where it says load, where the ammo is, it's shining. That's probably the most charge you can get out of it. And yep, I was proud of that. But yeah, if you are trying to get the most out of it, just make sure you are charging up fully. If you do take damage while trying to build that meter up, it will go down by a little bit, so just bear that in mind. So make sure you are stacking your reckless sleep if you are trying to go for those big wound damage numbers. As I said, this video isn't just to kill behemoths quickly, it's just to show off a build that crit damage is really good with this Pike in particular, and reckless sleep is very viable at the moment. I'm going to let the rest of this play out. Oh, a little tip as well, when you end the round, try and get your meter up right at the end so you can get 1 free reckless sleep stack fully charged for your next behemoth. But regardless, the amps you want to be looking for is the surgical precision, which I got first round, which is really good. I'm not going to keep going over the amps because I do it every single video at the moment and there's no need. If you've been playing Escalation, you know what it does. It's really good for Pike, especially when you are breaking parts via wound damage. We're going to the round 2. Luckily enough, I didn't get the glitch there where you get teleported back to the beginning of the map. Another patch needs to be fixed. Phoenix Labs. But regardless, we get Koshai and Skarn. I can quickly pop these life drains and bulwarks real quick. But Koshai is a really simple beat. You can run up to him now, jump into the sky, land that spinny attack, the heavy attack, and you can get a free beep on him. Gives you some free time to get some wounds on him. Bearing in mind I'm not using any insight tonics, as I said before. The wounds are coming really fairly simple. Be careful of this move because the hitbox is really wide. I just back away from it. I landed a 2,635 crit wound damage there, which is really good. Once again, baited the boot there. Really simple boot. We get another OP overpower state. Allows us to get the wound on the tail, which is annoying. Which is another higher, which is a really annoying hitbox as well for Koshai. if you are trying to wound the tail on him, aim for the higher part of the tail, because the bottom bit is kind of bugged, and it has been for a while with normal kosers as well, so just bear that in mind when you are trying to wound the tail. As you can see now, I've got 2 full stacks of Reckless Leap, so I do one up now. Somehow I somehow hit the head hitbox from that, but regardless, it was a clean hit anyway. And just to point this out, the Reckless Leap can do this much damage, and 1 bar left, and I finish him off with that. As before, I was gaining up my Reckless Leap meter again, just by gaining off meter from his dead body. Allows me to fight Skarn. I think I do get a flawless Skarn as well. I was really proud of this fight because Skarn's really annoying to wound, and I don't know, I read him pretty well. I got the head wound fairly quickly. Break the part on the head real quickly, and then I was starting on the legs. I somehow baited him really well. I don't know how I did it, because this normally never ever happens with me on Skarn. I think it made up for my bad run on the Zarg, which is coming after this one. I'll let you guys dissect that after. But as you can see, I've got the wound now on the leg. Half health. I'm looking to gain my meter up again and try and wound the right arm before he dies. Just trying to bait his right arm out, and I somehow don't hit him. I don't know if I'm a bit too far away, but regardless, doesn't matter. I bait him again, and now I'm just going to attack him. I was getting a bit impatient with him. But yeah, I was hitting the wound spot there. I didn't actually know you could hit the wound spot there on Skarn. I haven't really fought Skarn with Pike, but there you have it. I decided to go with a Reckless Leap just because I had a free charge. And there you have it. I didn't leech off him after because I already got 3 full charges of Reckless Leap for Nazaga, so no need to spam the attack after that. But in the round 2, the amp I chose was Exposed Weakness, which allows me to do more damage via wound damage. So I got two of the best amps for wounding and pikes at the moment. So the Surgical Precision and Exposed Wounds. Now it's just whatever amps you'd rather have for own personal preference. But I had Nazaga. This comes to my first problem with the Umbral Escalation. It has Nazaga has well, Umbral one has a really bad hitbox. The first bit was really well done. I went for a really flashy one there, but I missed. But I got the first boot after that, and I started wounding the head. I think when you wound the head and break him, I think his hitbox gets scuffed on the head. I was just testing it out. So now I believe the head is wounded. And when he goes for the boop after this, you'll see in a second, I literally can't land the boop. I don't know if it's just me just stuck in with the bike, or what. It could be that, like maybe it is, but I'm going to let you see the whole run of Nazaga. I'm not going to skip it. Like I said, I'm not a Pike main, like, don't at me, it is what it is. I'm not using ice, but I'm still staying alive. I'm using my tonics. So yeah, here's my first boop attempt after the head wound. Obviously we're waiting for the shadow clone to go back first. See, I hit him, somehow I hit the back of his head. It wasn't a boop, I was really confused. I was like, alright, cool, whatever. We try and bait it again for the second time. I think that was just a really bad timing, but once again, no boop, even though I hit him. Went for the empowered hits off those Umbral orbs. Unfortunately, on the third one, he didn't give us the boop, he does this. So I just finished the wound off the tail. This round was more like testing out the damage from the... I wasn't testing the damage out, more like seeing if you can boop him via the Pike. The Pike heavy attack, and as you can see, I literally just can't land one. I feel like it's me, but at the same time, it just feels like I'm getting bugged, even though I am hitting him sometimes. Maybe I'm doing this a little bit too late, I don't know, but it looks like a bug to me because I just genuinely am still hitting him. It should still be an interrupt, even if I am trading at least. Because normal Nazaga I've never had a problem with, but ever since Umbral one, I just can't land a boop. Once again, that definitely should have been a boop. I was really confused. Like, out of all of the ones I've attempted, that should have been a boop. I hit him clean on the head, no boop at all. That one there, you can't really tell, but I miss again. It's a really scuffed run. Honestly, it needs to be shown just to see if it is a bug or is this me playing bad. Once again, I hit his head, no boop again. At this point, I'm just getting really frustrated. I'm so glad my mic wasn't on because I was tripping. Like, I was annoyed. And then right at the end, of course, when I think I'm going to get the boop, it does the third time. It doesn't allow me to go for the boop. I've definitely finished the wound on the tail this time. But you can see, it does. This build really does wound really quickly, regardless of this bugging or not bugging, whatever. I go for a Reckless Leap here. I hit core damage on its back. I don't know why I hit the head. I hit the back, sorry. But yeah, I rolled the enrage, and everything's pretty much wounded now, or broken. So now it's a matter of me finishing the fight off. I do really like that addition to where you dodge, you get that little noise where it goes ding. It's the most satisfying thing in the world, so really cool thing to be implemented there into the game. But yeah, my third amp, I believe I went for the element form. Yep, I went for element form, so it allows me to have more damage on hold. I was going to go for the tonics, but I really wanted to test out the damage with the element form. I did finally choose it. I was like dilemmaing myself. But here we go, the last round. The two worst behemoths out right now in terms of hitboxes and brokenness. I am going to skip some of the Rifty fight because you're going to see why in a bit. But either way, I've still got some life drain tonics. I have some bulwarks and stamina, so I'm going to pop those. I have 2 full charge Reckless Sleeps and 1 half charge. Nash is really broken in terms of boops. It's very similar to Nazago. His hitbox seems to be off, or I'm not the only person to say this, so I know this definitely is weird and it's been implemented after the Umbral Escalation. But regardless, as you can see, 4,000 crit wound damage from the Reckless Leap. I missed a boop there. That was general, just a bad timing from my behalf that time. But yeah, still a really, really strong wound from the Pike there. But yeah, I start wounding the Rifty. This is the worst thing you could do right now to Riftstalker. If you wound him, he breaks. There you go. Nash is really, really annoying, really being toxic. I try and go for the boot. I don't know if that should have been the boot or not. I think it might have been a bit too slow. But then I finally get a boot, but I trade it, and as you can see, the hitboxes are scuffed. I feel like that shouldn't have been a trade. But regardless, I get another wound on the head for Nasha this time. So I go for a fully charged Reckless Sleep on the arm. I miss. I hit the actual little arm, not the leg, sorry. And this is one of my problems right now with Nasha, by the way. So apparently his hitbox has been rendered down, so it's a lot more forgiving. I'm just going to let this play out just for a second. I rolled, you heard the noise right there. I rolled and I dodged it. There was no iframes given to me. I still got hit after the roll, even though I got the noise to dodge. I still got hit. So something's clearly still wrong there. Regardless, I hit a crit there, part damage because I've already wounded it to break the leg. Falls to the floor. Finished the wound off on the left leg. Everything's pretty much wounded now on Nasha. Once again, this is just to show off the build and how well it can perform with Reckless Sleep, and just a couple of bugs. I'm so glad these two are actually in the same zone, just for me to show you. Got a clean bit there on Rifty, so I decided to get my thing up, my meter up. I dodge again, you hear the noise, and I still got hit, which is just silly. There should be iframes. Like, I know the iframes have been decreased at the timer, but if you're dodging an attack, I don't expect to be hit by something else or by the same attack, which I've just dodged. It's a bit out of order, but I thought that needs to be addressed as well, especially with Nasha. Anyway, I clear up Nasha, and now it leaves me with Riftstalker. This was the longest fight I've had so far to Umbral Escalation. Regardless, I hit a 3k, almost 4k crit wound damage on Riftstalker. So once again, showing off the build's potential there. And that still isn't the full power of this build. You'll see in a second the crit I get just now. 7,491 wound damage from this if you hit a good crit. But like I said, when I show you some of the fight of this, I'm going to skip through it because this fight was really, really long and it was annoying. Rifty's full of bugs at the moment. I just really hope Feats have to really address this first. That should have been a boop. As you can see, I didn't trade anything. I hit the head. I hit him multiple times. There was no boop at all. Now he is broken. I'm just hitting for core damage, which is white damage, by the way. Go for it again. I hit the head, and you can clearly see me hitting the head again with the interrupt showing on his head. There's just no interrupt. If he decides to do this move, I go for a Reckless Leap. I hit a 7k crit. Core damage. That could have been a wound damage. You never know, but that's random because he's in his little form. You can hit anything, so I'll let that one slide. Just dodge these. These are increased now, by the way. It's not 5 now. It can go up to like 7 or 6. I thought that move should have actually hit me as well. So this hitbox is kind of scuffed at the moment. I'm trying to wound everything, but as you can see, there's no wound damage coming off him. It's just pure core damage right now. It's just silly. I'm getting hit. I just wanted to see if I can get more damage on the arm, on the leg before he goes to his form. I get scuffed a couple of times. And there's one more thing I need to address before I skip the rest of the fight, which which is coming really, really soon. Just bear with me. I get hit by that, and then I get hit by that. I know that iframes aren't as forgiving now, but I still think that's absolutely ridiculous. You're able to get hit twice like that. Maybe it is fair, but I just don't see it being fair. But anyway, now his hitbox is completely like, I can't hit it unless it's that move. Right now he's completely broke. I'm gonna let this shadow zone bit play out just to prove to you he's completely broke now. When I start hitting him again, I'll skip through the rest of the fight, but I just want to show everyone just how broken Riftstalker is right now, and it's just silly. I thought it was bad before this patch came out of Umbral Escalation, but look at this. I hit him wound damage, weird numbers. It should have been an interrupt. Just everything's going wrong right now. And there you go. Another interrupt what should have happened. No hitbox. It's like it's choosing when it wants to have a hitbox. He's allowed to hit me though, by the way, but I'm not allowed to hit him. It's just out of order. Look at him. I'm just phasing through him. But before I do skip you through this, I'm just going to quickly explain. I'm going to quickly show you one more thing. Sorry, I keep saying this, but there is one more thing. When you are fighting Rifty in this zone, there is a way to avoid him, since there's no real pillars to stand on. If he does go into that zone or whatever, I'll show you where you can stand to avoid him at all costs. I'm going to let this bit play out. Once again, he's still broken. I literally can't hit him at all, by the way, but he can still hit me, which is just whatever. Goes for a boot. I can hit him, but no interrupts. I think about now, he's about to go ready for his Ether move, where he goes into his little spinny move where he does like 5-6 times. Just to quickly show you where you can stand just to avoid it. There you go. So now he's going into this. Oh, no, he's not, so my bad. He's going for that move, which you can't interrupt anyway. Okay, I think I've changed my mind. I'm going to show you the whole fight. There you go, once again, no boot, hit him on the head, I traded, I hit core damage, no interrupt. I wasn't going to show you the whole fight, but you know what, I'm going now, I changed my mind, whilst recording, whatever. Because he's down to his last HP anyway. I don't know if that should have hit or not, but you can see me going through him and I landed on him. But here you go, if you want to avoid this, just honestly go over here and you could just stand behind this pillar, these two pillars, you can't get hit, it's impossible for him to hit you. A little cheat way of not getting hit, and I didn't want to die because of what's happening. I thought I'm going to cheese him, he cheesed me, I cheese him. Once again, just core damage, nothing else, no part damage, just pure core. It's weird, man, he's just completely scuffed. And that finally finishes the fight. Yeah, sorry, I wanted to show you the whole fight. I wasn't going to, but regardless, I just wanted to show the whole thing and just how scuffed he is. Anyway, moving on to Frax. I'm not going to speak too much about him. Everyone knows most things, how to fight him. I am going to speak quickly after I just show you the amp about one thing about him, though. I went with Alchemist Frenzy because I had to heal so much. I wanted the extra damage and the extra heals. I still have a life drain, I still have a bulwark. I always try and keep one of each of these for the end fight. I pop these just before I go in, just as I go in, sorry. Some people don't understand how to bait the boop of him. Always try and bait the boop because there's a reason why. Because he gets OP'd state really early and you're getting this free damage. Why would you not want to bait the boop? So many people just don't do it. The way to do it is stand about this distance away. He might insta-boot, probably won't. He's more unlikely to do this move. Just stand about this distance away after that move, and it gives you the interrupt. That's it. That's literally it. And now you can just do what the hell you want to do. I just go for wound in the face because it's just there. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave it a like, subscribe if you're new. I'm just going to let the rest of this fight play out. There's a couple of nice Reckless Leap hits I get in here. Nothing too crazy. I didn't get like a really good interrupt or anything like that. Just some normal Rats gameplay. Hopefully this helped you out, and I hope this has addressed some other stuff to Phoenix Labs as well. Hopefully they can get Riftstalker and Nasher, well, Riftstalker indefinitely fixed. Guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.